asshole. I'm Samantha Bee. There are a few things any sensible human knows not to do. Never lick a bus station door handle, never start a conversation with a man about infinite jest, and never go on a radio show hosted by a guy named Bubba the Love Sponge. Apparently, Tucker Carlson is not a sensible human being.
I'm not defending underage marriage. I just don't think it's the same thing exactly as pulling a child from a bus stop and sexually assaulting that child. The rapist in this case has made a lifelong commitment to live and take care of the person. I love women, but they're extremely primitive. They're basic.
Well, I like you too, and I mean that. You always say I mean that in a non-way, but I actually mean it in a completely way.
Ugh, that is vile and disgusting and presumably the audition tape that got him a job interview at Fox. But it gets worse.
If there were a Democrat to come out in the 2008 election and say, you know what the problem is? It's these lunatic Muslims who are behaving like animals, and I'm going to kill as many of them as I can if you elect me. I'd vote for you if you said that. Iraq is a crappy place filled with a bunch of, semi-literate primitive monkeys.
Oh my God! Tucker Carlson publicly advocated a genocide while promoting his MSNBC show? To quote Tucker Carlson's face, huh? After the release of these tapes, Tucker issued a statement responding with all the grace and humility you'd expect.
Media Matters caught me saying something naughty on a radio show. I'm on television every weeknight live for an hour. If you want to know what I think, you can watch.
Oh, you naughty little bad boy. Advocating genocide. Well, guess what, fucko? We have been watching your show, and we found it's a revolting trash heap of racist talking points. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Tucker Carlson is a white supremacist. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yes, I am. But you don't have to, but you don't have to take my word for it. An all-white rainbow. How appropriate.
We have a moral obligation to admit the world's poor, they tell us, even if it makes our own country poorer and dirtier and more divided.
The speech says, look, our civilization is superior, and we need to defend it. What's wrong with saying that?
There are still lessons to draw from 9/11, ones that we shouldn't forget. There's this one maybe first among them. Not all cultures are the same. Not all cultures are equal.
Wait, that's the first lesson to draw from 9/11? Leave it to Tucker to have a more batshit takeaway from the attack than this guy.
9/11, 9/11, what went down with Building 7? It's a mystery to this day.
Now, I know that is so bad, but if you tune out the lyrics, it's a real panty dropper. In case anyone in Tucker's audience doesn't pick up on his subtle messages, he sometimes turns up that dog whistle.
Latin American countries are changing election outcomes here by forcing demographic change on this country. Their political success does not depend on good policies, but on demographic replacement, and they'll do anything to make sure it happens. I just am for Americans, and nobody cares about them. It's like, shut up, you're dying, we're going to replace you.
Oh, that's weird. Where have I heard sweaty white men yelling about being replaced before?
Jews will not replace us!
So he's against white supremacy, but uses the catchphrase of the Charlottesville mob? That's like saying, I hate the movie Borat, but you know who loves it? My wife. And none of this was hard to find. The only in-depth research we did was to determine that his name can be rearranged to spell old cracker nuts. You know who else thinks that Tucker is a white supremacist? White supremacists! Former KKK Grand Wizard and current plastic surgery mannequin David Duke calls Tucker his favorite commentator. Meanwhile, the founder of the neo-Nazi website The Daily Stormer says Tucker Carlson Tonight is basically Daily Stormer the show, and he calls Tucker literally our greatest ally. Now, many of Tucker's defenders say you can't fault someone for who their fans are, which is kind of true. If you own a restaurant that neo-Nazis go to, that doesn't make you a white supremacist. But if neo-Nazis go there because you make the soup spell out racist tropes, then yeah, you might be a white supremacist. Tucker doesn't worry about it, though, because it barely even exists.
The American Nazi Party and the KKK don't really exist in a meaningful sense. They may have an office or a website. White supremacy is not ubiquitous in America. It's not a crisis. It's not even a meaningful category. It is incredibly rare. You could easily live your entire life in this country without meeting a single person who believes anything like that. Most of us have lived lives like that. I have.
You know who hasn't lived a life like that? Anyone who's ever met you. He acts like he won't stand for racism, but he literally wouldn't even stand on Dancing with the Stars.
Are you ready for a brand new beat?
Tragically, he was the first contestant voted off, while Mario Lopez and Emmett Smith made it to the finals, further proof that a white man can't catch a break. But that's really how it works in Tucker's world. I mean, sure, black people complain about discrimination, but last he checked, they were all getting chauffeured around by Viggo Mortensen, so racism doesn't exist. No, there is only one kind of prejudice in America.
Everybody gets a safe space except white men. They are hated and despised. You divide people on the basis of their skin color and say this one group of people's lives matter. Everybody's life matters.
Yeah, it's so racist to say Black Lives Matter, just like it was so racist of Lincoln to free the slaves because he didn't free a single white person. Tucker has spent nearly 20 years getting paid to be an angry white man on all 3 cable news networks, only 2 of which have fired him so far. Playing to white victimhood is his whole shtick, yet he claims he doesn't know what he's doing.
But this is insane. Like, because the ideas, I don't even know what white nationalist means.
That's okay, Tucker. There's a show on Fox that can teach you all about it. You should watch sometime. We'll be right back.